Hey everyone, it's Sun. Very quickly in post-production again. I recognized after going over this video that a lot of this information seems pretty easy to understand. It's very like, yes, obviously, duh, why would you not say it? And the reason a lot of this information does seem like that is because I'm trying to lay a groundwork for videos to come, so things don't need to be consistently explained over and over. But with that in mind, enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome back to Casual Collectors. My name is the Son of Morning, and I am here to continue and start the very first education-based video of this channel. As you may or may not have seen, you should go watch the introduction video, and you should go watch the Mantyke highlight card video to get an idea of what the other half of this channel is going to be. So this is where, or this type of video is going to be an education-based one, where I'm going to kind of go over all sorts of different things with collecting, specifically TCG and card games, though we're actually going to start getting into comics and a bunch of other things as well, assuming there is a like for it, or I find it interesting. I've actually been slowly getting into comics, so I'm going to put in comics into Casual Collectors at some point. It'll be a little while. So if you had watched the introduction video, you know that I left you guys off with a question. That question being, where to start? If you haven't seen the introduction video, no worries, it's totally fine. You don't need to worry about it. You're not really missing anything. It's just giving you an introduction of how the channel runs. But I left you off with that question of where do you start when it comes to collecting? The first question you have to ask yourself, obviously, is do you enjoy collecting? The fact that you're here, I would assume that yes, but honestly, you never know. Some people stumble upon collecting, whether it be through their kids or a plethora of other reasons. They might not immediately enjoy the act of collecting to start with. So as I concluded in the introduction video, it's important to know what it is exactly you like to collect. And this can range from full sets to binder sets to specific characters or just whatever looks cool. There's no 100% guide on where to start, and sometimes collections can morph as well. For example, I've actually started, while I'm also collecting my binder sets of Pokemon, I've actually started looking into Magic, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! And comics. Starting your collection is probably the hardest thing to do once you've decided what it is you like, and there are several ways to go about it. I'm going to use Pokemon mostly for my examples, but the same concept can be used for most TCGs, barring the indie ones, such as, you know, the one that we make here, Gates of Amalgam, or comics. So comics are a little bit different. We might make, I will probably make a separate video on where to start with comics in a separate video. So let's quickly start off here with Pokemon. So as you can see here, we've got a Dark Arbok. Now, when it comes to Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever, you could collect so many different things for so many different reasons, right? You might collect all the grass types. You might collect all the Arbok cards. You might want the full Rocket binder set. You never know, right? There's so many different reasons and ways to collect. But the important thing when you start to collect is have a start point and an end point in your mind. If you, for example, want to collect binder Pokemon sets, and you want to collect everything from base set all the way up, you need to keep in mind that at the end of the day, Pokemon comes out with a new set every 3 to 4 months. If you're not careful, you're just going to keep going and going and going and going and going, and that's totally okay. If you're one of those people that wants to collect every single set that ever comes out ever, more power to you. Personally, for me, I had a very definitive start point, base set, and a very definitive end point, which is the end of Sun and Moon. But that doesn't mean you have to do that. What I'm trying to say in this regard is you need to have a very good idea, or at least have a very base set knowledge of what you want to collect, else you're just going to start moving all over in all sorts of different directions, and it's just going to become very, very messy. Your wallet's not gonna thank you. And in the end, you might actually not enjoy it as much unless you have a very straight vision. So let's get back to the original question at hand. Where do you start collecting? And I'm going to be mostly using, as I said before, Pokemon as your main TCG, but this works for sports, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, again, any TCG that's on the main market, you know, that you could get in like Target or whatnot. The indie ones, again, such as Gates of Amalgam, is a little different. You have to go through different ways to do that. But let's start with the first approach. So the first way to really start a collection is your very standard set of cards. You know, you've got you go to the store, you go to a Target, you go to a Walmart, and you get a pack and you get 10 cards. Boom. You open them up, they're all from the same set. I don't even think this is 10 cards, but There you go. You're there, and they're definitely not from the same set. But you have your 10 cards from a set. You can buy that at a Target for, you know, $4 or $5. Keep in mind, though, at the time of this recording, retail stores are being continuously bought out by people waiting hours for them to restock, only to be resold online or to a local game shop at a much higher price. Please be wary of this practice. I do not condone the act of scalping, and I just find it incentivizes people with a lot of money to do whatever they like, while hurting the younger generation from being able to get into the hobby or even the game itself if they want to learn to play. It also really just sucks for other collectors who are just like, yo, I just want to rip open a pack of Pokemon. Why do I need to pay $20 on eBay because some idiot waited outside for 15 hours at a Walmart? It's a super annoying thing. The main reason it's currently happening is due to some market manipulation that's currently going on online, as well as COVID. Many people, we don't really know what to do. We all have, or I don't say we all, part of us have disposable income that we can just sort of throw around. Some people have a lot of it. So that's sort of what's going on. But once COVID starts to go away, you will start to see that these things will start to disperse and things will start going back to normal. So that's the first approach, is you can pick up a pack, you can pick up an Elite Trainer box. There are a bunch of other things. You could get like a tin or any other promo box, but basically you go to a retail store, whether it be a Target or a Walmart or a local game store, card shop, and you just pick up sealed product. That's kind of the end goal there. The second approach is what I like to call the shotgun approach. It's where you go into a specific card store or game store or hobby store, whatever you want to call them, like the place that I work at, and they will typically have binders or boxes of bulk. For those unfamiliar, bulk are the excess cards that come with packs, the non-hits we can call them. These are awesome if you're trying to complete a set, look for specific creatures, players, teams, etc. It's also cheaper in the long run since you don't have to pay for shipping for a 25-cent card. Plus, most locations allow you to take four for $1 or so on. All stores kind of do it a little differently, but it's in that same vein. It's called the shotgun approach because you have no idea what you will hit. Sometimes you'll pull things you need and other things you'll just find nothing. For example, the Mantike that I showed you in the last video, that was actually from the shotgun approach. I went into a store, a local game store, card store, was flipping through their bulk binder, came across and went, yes, finally, I found it. I'd been looking for that card forever. So that's the second approach. I love this approach personally because you just never know what you're going to walk out of the store with. As I said before, you might walk out with a bunch of stuff. You might walk out with nothing. It really is just take a shotgun, shoot, and see what happens. It's very fun. Plus, if it's kind of not a dead store, right? But if you go down at downtime, if the people that are working there are friendly, you can actually have full-on conversations with these people. And if you're nice to them, I bet you, at least this is how it works where we work. If you're nice to us and we're having good conversation, if you mention, hey, I'm looking for X card, I would say 8 to 9 times out of 10, they'll remember your face, they'll remember what you're looking for, and next time you walk in, let's say you're looking for a Latias, they will remember. They'll be like, oh yeah, you were looking for a Latias. Fun fact, we just got one that came in. Here, take a look. Plus, shop local. As well, I should also add, don't feel embarrassed if you're standing there for a while looking through a box after box. Most shop workers don't care, and we even encourage it. The only thing I would say is be mindful you don't stay over closing, obviously, and don't get in the way of other shoppers, but besides that, take your time. It's totally okay. We get it. The people who run the shops, we get it. We encourage it. Do not be embarrassed. Finally, the last way to get cards you want is just as simple as it sounds. You go and buy online. This can be done by either buying singles, sealed items, or lots. I will go through each one specifically and kind of give you an idea of what that means in case you're unfamiliar with the terminology. I'll just show off a couple other cards here. Usually you're looking for a specific card, go on eBay. That is, if you're looking for a very, very specific card, go on eBay, TCG Player, or a number of these other sites and buy a direct card. Be careful of some sites. Some sites will overcharge you. They will go and you can find on TCG Player, let's say that this is Jolteon this is not the real price. Please keep that in mind. This is for example only, let's say this Jolteon is worth $1 from TCG Player, and everywhere else you find it's about $1. Some places will charge you $3 for it. Just make sure and do your research before you buy a card. Also keep an eye on the quality of the card. That's also super important. These are usually pretty safe, but you always want to be careful, especially with eBay, where people will sometimes sell these 15 GX lots for $5, but they're fake cards, and you won't be able to really tell that they're fake until you go into the description and read until the very bottom that, ooh, all of a sudden they're fake. Ooh, whoops, haha. But if you buy it, you can't do anything about it because the description says, well, they're fake. It's your fault for quote unquote not looking. Just be careful of stuff like that. The other thing you can buy online, obviously, is sealed product. You can find sealed items such as booster boxes, packs, or so on and so forth. This is also a very viable way to find packs that are no longer in production, but keep in mind, they can also be very expensive for potentially nothing. I cannot stress this enough. Just because you see a pack online that's worth $200 does not mean that you will get anything good. Now, I'm going to say it one more time, because we have had some problems in the past, and I know of this on a personal level. Just because you buy a pack for $200 online does not mean you will get something good. It is a pack like any other. Other small issue, it's very, very rare, but it's still a common problem with buying stuff online, is resealed items. There is a way, it's very difficult to do, but there is a way to pull a pack, open it up, pick out what you want, put stuff back in, and reseal it to make it look factory new. It's super difficult to pull off, but it is a possibility. It's something to just sort of always keep in the back of your head. The last on this list is called lots. Now, lots are super, super interesting. I had mentioned them before twice at this point. Watch out for the lot scam, where they're giving you, 15 GXs for $5, but they're fake. A legitimate lot, usually it's a lot of common or uncommon cards. Some lots that I've seen are, it's 100 common/uncommon cards with maybe one GX, one EX, or one V, whatever, etc. These aren't bad at all. You can think of it as a shotgun approach, but you just don't get the joy of searching for yourself. The lot just comes to you. So these three ways are usually the cornerstone to card collections, but they are nowhere near the end-all be-all. Sometimes family members pass down their cards, or your friends will just give them to you, and so on and so forth. There are many ways to collect cards. There's so many different ways, but these are kind of the main three, right? Is buying sealed product from a retailer, buying stuff online, or doing the quote-unquote shotgun approach. The other thing to keep in mind when you're shopping local is that typically at local shops, they will have a case that is filled with hits, quote-unquote, right? They've got your GXs, your Vs, though they just might not be what you're looking for. And that's okay. That's totally all right. My personal recommendation is if you're searching for a specific character, player, teams, whatever, start with the shotgun approach. In the end, it'll just be cheaper. It's a lot of fun to scour box after box searching because you never know what you may find. If you're looking to start a specific set, I recommend the sealed option approach, right? So long as that set is still in manufacturing. If it's still out there and you can still find it in retail and you want to collect a specific set, say you want to collect the Sword and Shield battle styles, buy the sealed product in stores. It's a lot better because all the cards you get are from that set, rather than doing the shotgun approach of going in and just finding all of them. You want to start with the shotgun approach when you're doing something fun, when you have a lot of sets that you're looking for a lot of things from, or if you just want to, look at a bulk box. You want to buy sealed if you are looking for a specific card from a specific set that is still in production and your local shop doesn't have it. And you can't find it online for what you would assume to be a reasonable price. With that being said, that is going to be all for today in this video. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. The next video, I will be going over how to store your budding collection. Storage is super, super, super important. There are many ways to go about storing your collection. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, I recommend subscribing to the channel and checking out the other Casual Collector videos on the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or want me to go into more depth about something in particular, throw a comment down below or send an email. Or if you really want, you can join the Discord. Something I'd like to make known, I haven't been able to do it recently, just as I get work schedule and everything under control. I'm going to try to put out a video every Friday. If I miss a Friday, I apologize. But I will try to put out a Casual Collectors every Friday, in which it will switch. So this one will come out probably not Friday. This one will come out a little bit earlier. But then starting next week, it'll be every Friday. You'll do education and then card highlight, education, card highlight. If there is something that super was important, maybe I'll do 2 videos in 1 week. But we'll see when we get there. These education videos will also be a little bit longer than those card highlight stuff. But with that being said, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. My name has been the Son of Morning. You have all been absolutely fantastic, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.